Hey! Well, this is the Afterfight Afterthought for the Carl Froch and Lucian Bute fight. And in these, I go over the before, the during, and the after with both fighters. And then I start with the winner, which is the afterfight, and then I go to the loser, which is the afterthought. And also sometimes throw in a round by round as we go on. And we'll start out with the afterfight. Obviously, you have Carl Froch in there, and he's coming off of basically like he's had some recent losses, and he got exposed a little bit with Andre Ward, and you know people are going to start questioning: is he really a like elite fighter, or is he just one of those really good ones that's going to give you a great show, but doesn't have enough to really take over the top guys? And that's hard to say with him because he's fought great competition, and every his last 5 fights he's really fought top notch guys. So could it be that he was getting a little wore out? And admittedly they said leading up to this fight he's taken there have been some fights he hasn't taken as seriously as others. So you kind of got to wonder, how is he going to take this fight? Is he going to take it serious? Is he coming in there? You know, this is a must-win for him, though. If he loses to Butte, you're gonna there's then a list of guys that are ahead of him. You see what I mean? And once that starts happening, it kind of gets harder to build yourself back up again. If he wins, maybe they do the rematch with like Kessler and some other ones and build up to it. And maybe award unification. Could be in the future there. See them fight again. Maybe hopefully there would be like a trilogy in that one. And a loss, it would regulate him down to that next tier of super middleweights and stuff there that you don't really want to see, because Carl Froch is a very enjoyable fighter. Over to Lucian Bute there, he's looking, to finally earn what's been given to him. A lot of people are really putting him on a big high pedestal, even with his and he looked great against Johnson, and he's looked great against a lot of the fighters that he's won against. Admittedly, you could argue that his opposition hasn't been the best, but this is one of those coming into, it's kind of a must-win for him. If he looks anything but good in this fight, the overrated chants are going to come out. He was overblown is going to come out. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's basically 30-1 or something close to that, and 29 and you know what I'm saying. He's undefeated, and this is obviously his toughest test to date, and he's going up against a very dangerous fighter. This is, like I said, this is a must-win for him, because if he loses this fight, then he's a record warrior, one of the guys that got his record built up really big, like a left hook Lacey kind of guy. And then when he really fought guys that were hardcore, they worked him, And if he loses, it all depends on how he loses. If he loses and it's a close fight, okay, he can hang with all the big guys. If he gets blown out of the water, again, the road warrior, the record warrior kind of thing comes into play with him, and you're worried about that. Now it's going into the fight, and I did the round by round there. It was only 5 rounds, so it kind of made it pretty easy in there. And you can see that the pawing jabs by Froch, jabs to the body by Bute, nice right hand start landing by Froch, lunging left hook by Froch, and they're warning, kind of warning him a little bit for his hits and stuff like that. The rights and the hooks. Froch is really pushing the pace here, and he's really taking it to Bute in this first round, and it was kind of exciting to see Froch just say, you know what, dude, we're going to bang it out. I'm going to make you fight, and we're going to see what you're made of, what your mettle is. Do you have the heart? You might have the skill, but do you have the heart to hang with me? The footwork, by Froch, he was pushing the action, the pace and the action. He landed more solid shots. I mean, and Bute was trying to counter with those hooks, but they were having no effect on Froch. Gave the first round to Froch 10-9. In the second round, again, they were pawing back with the jabs, left by Bute, a right to the body by Froch, a left to the body and by Bute, and a hook by Bute. And Bute looked like he was getting ready to start doing something, but then, man, Froch just comes in there and starts roughing him up, dude. And, he started pounding him, hitting him with the hooks, hitting him with the rights, really pushing it on him. And Bute seems to, be getting on that back foot a little more than you would expect. He's kind of, taking, hey, you know, it's nice, man. We're cool. You know, I'm back up a little bit. You know, you ain't got to crowd me so much. And I gave the second round to Froch as well. In the third round, this was big, and Froch controlled this entire round. He landed very good shots. He was you know, Froch was pounding the body. You know, Bute's trying to tie up. You know, every time Bute would open up on something, Froch would turn it on him tenfold almost. And he was really banging on Bute in this round. And this round could have almost been like a 10-8 for Froch, and Bute was hurt in this round. There's no doubt about that. You know, and going into the fourth round, you know, Bute was on his back foot again. You know, he didn't want any of it. Froch was lunging a little bit there. You know, left by Bute, right by Froch. They're trading jabs. You know, again they're trading, and then the right hands. Froch is stalking him, man. He's walking him down. You know, and then you know Froch's counter left hook by Froch. You know, and you know these right hands by Froch. And Bute is he looks like he's about out of it, honestly, in the fourth round there. Froch was, you know, unloading on him, and the bell actually, I believe, saves Bute from going down in the fourth. And again, another 10-9 round for Froch. And you know the feeling, you know, you have it. You're like, Froch about to knock Bute out. You know, you have that feeling, like, and you can actually see Bute. He's finally been tested, and something's missing right there. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried to engage a little bit, but then when Froch fired back on him, Bute was having none of that. So he's not one of those warrior type of fighters like a Froch. I mean, Froch puts you in the fire and then sees how you do, and usually burn up a little bit. You know. In round 5, you know, Froch is pressing. He pounding rights from Froch. Big uppercut from Froch. That was the shot really that did it. You know, pounding the right hands and lefts. Bute's going down, and they stop the fight, and Froch, you know, knocks him out. And when you're looking at that, you know, what more could you expect? If you wanted to see Froch make a statement fight and say, hey, look, I'm back, I'm taking everything serious again, this is it. Now, there's the pros of that, and there's cons to that. The pros, when you start looking at Froch, obviously you're thinking, you know, rematch with Ward, you know. And if you can't get the rematch with Ward real quick, maybe that Kessler fight, you know, to avenge anything. You know, those kind of things. I don't see a rematch here at all. You know, he blew him out of the water, so I don't see where that would make any sense at all. And you go over to Bute, and you know he got exposed. And was he overrated? And once you say that, once you start talking about a fighter being overrated, then you got to start looking into, you know, the quality of win on Froch. You know, Froch had a great win, but who was it over? Was it kind of like when Dimitri Salita? You remember, you know, how Khan mopped the floor up with him in 91 seconds of the fight, you know, and here he was, this undefeated fighter. You know, he was absolutely amazing, and he was going in there. And is Bute one of those? Is he one of those, or is he a legitimate good fighter? Do we want to give him the props of that, and that this was just an amazing performance by Froch? Those are the things in that fine line that you have to really decide, because you can't have both. You can't say that Bute's a bum and it was a great win for Froch. You can't do that. So, you know, or is it maybe not so much a great win, but a really good win for Froch? And Bute's okay, he's a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. So is that how you want to roll it? And that's kind of how I see it. It was actually kind of shocking to see that, see Froch do that. It was, you know, it just wasn't something that you would really expect to see out of Froch, as awesome as that was. I mean, it was amazing, and I'm a Froch fan, and I think I even leaned against Bute to win the fight. So that should tell you I'm not a homer or whatever. I'm not trying to, you know, just jump on a bandwagon and call the fights. I try to call them as even as it was, and apparently, you know, I need to do my homework a little bit more on undefeated fighters from Canada or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, it was exciting. I mean, Glenn Johnson had given guys tough fights before, you know. And I mean, you look in there and maybe Bute could go up against a Kelly Pavlik or someone like that. Or I mean, Andre Durrell's got to come back at some point in time, right? You know, maybe that would be a good fight for him. You know, Brian McGee. You know, James DeGaulle might be someone who would mix it up with Bute. When you start looking at these, when you look at Carl Froch, I mean, all he really has. I mean, you have Andre Ward, Othuzan maybe. You know, Stigouts, Stigouts. You know, it's one of the names, and that's pretty much it. When you start looking at Arthur Abraham, absolutely not. You know, maybe a Darrell rematch. That would be nice to see. Carl Froch against Darrell rematch. But I doubt we'll see that. You know what I mean? So, but it's possible. That would be a good one. You know, that'd be a nice fight to watch happen. All right. Well, hey, please comment, rate, subscribe. I should be putting out at least at minimum a video a day now because it's summertime and I don't have school anymore and I don't have class and I'm not working 2 jobs and I actually have time. So all you dudes that are just tuning back in again, welcome. Those of you guys that left, you want to tell them, Guardo? No, we'll just keep it quiet. All right, man. All right, y'all have a great day. Bigragu. Mao.